welcome back to Random Hearts. Today we're in the kitchen and we're going to be using some produce from my garden. These zucchini are a little more on the mature side than I would like if I was using them for a fresh meal or for a vegetable dish. So I am going to put them into zucchini bread. And the recipe I'm going to share with you today makes 2 standard loaves. And the beauty of that is I can put one of those into the freezer and we can eat it later. And so we like to eat zucchini bread for breakfast. We like it as one of our breakfast meals. We'll slice it up, put a tiny bit of butter on it, and then have it with a cup of coffee. And it's much like a muffin. It's got the same kind of texture. And so we're going to get started with this today. I need to use these up before they go bad. And so the first thing I need to do is get my oven preheating at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I will show you all the ingredients and supplies you'll need to make the zucchini bread. All right, these are just a couple of the supplies you'll need to make the zucchini bread. You're going to need some kind of a mixer and a bowl. I am actually using my Bosch with its whisk attachment. You do not need a dough hook for this. It is an actually very thin dough, and so it will have the consistency of muffins when we're done. I also need a scraper of some kind to clean out my bowl. I am going to need a food processor or some way of shredding my zucchini. So I've got my fine blade on there. I've got 2 loaf pans here. I've also got a way to juice my lemon, zest my lemon, and then this is a cake tester, or you can use a toothpick, whichever you prefer. And then I think that is just about it for the supplies. Hopefully I have not forgotten something, but let's move on to the ingredients. Here are the ingredients you will need for today's recipe. You are going to need some flour, sugar, baking soda, salt, baking powder, eggs, shredded zucchini. I've got 4 cups here because I'm going to make 2 batches, but you will need approximately 2 cups of shredded zucchini. You also need some cooking spray. This one has flour in it. I do prefer that with metal pans. Then I've also got some chopped walnuts, some lemon juice and lemon zest, some nutmeg, some cinnamon, some vegetable oil, and some vanilla. And that is all you should need for today's recipe. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by switching over from my auxiliary drive on my machine to my main drive. And I'm going to leave the hooks out for a little bit, the whisk, because it's just easier to add the flour and the dry ingredients at this point. So I am going to be putting in 3 cups of flour. I'm not sifting this, I'm just putting it straight into the bowl. Okay, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. That is just going into my flour mixture. So we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I also need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Don't skip this part, it does need it. Then I'm going to be mixing in 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. That's 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. A 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. And 2 full cups of sugar. Now I am going to lighten this amount a little. I do not want that much sugar in there. So I will go just slightly under 2 cups. And I am using a raw sugar. So it does have a little bit of a lighter color. So I'm going just under 1 cup there. I think that ought to do it. We just don't want it too sweet. Anyways, that is our dry ingredients. We'll get that going. And I just need to slightly mix that. It's not needing to be mixed too heavily. I'll get those out of the way. little bit of nutmeg kind of stuck to that bowl. And I'm going to pulse this just a little bit more. You want it to look like that. Okay, now we are ready to start adding our wet ingredients. So the first thing we need to add, let me move you in a little closer here. First thing we need to add is a half cup of vegetable oil. So 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And I think you can use olive oil if you would like to, but I don't prefer the flavor in baking. 2 eggs. And I'm going to crack those real quick and dump them in one at a time. So 1, 2 eggs, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and about a teaspoon of lemon zest. We're going to go ahead and pulse that and get that mixing together very lightly. It has a pretty crumbly texture right now. So now we're going to add in our zucchini. And I am just going to guesstimate on this. I need 2 cups, and I'm not super positive what 2 cups is going to look like. I know this is 4, so I want to use about half. And you'll see I have a lot of liquid in here, so I do want to get some of that liquid. Maybe just a little bit more. I am making 2 batches of this, so that is why there is so much extra. But let's go ahead and pulse that. I do need to take some of the side off of this. Kind of clean the edges of the bowl a little. I wish you could smell it. It just smells so lovely. I do not want to overmix this, so I want to be really careful here. Okay, I'm going to show you real quick what the texture looks like while I'm running it. You can see it's very thin. And then we're going to add in our walnuts. I have about 1 cup of walnuts here. And I will again share this in the description, so the exact measurements are available to you, because don't trust me while I'm talking here. Sometimes I say the wrong amount. All right, so this is what we are after. I'm going to quick turn this on so you can see. Very nice texture. And that is done. We just need to put that into pans and get it baking. All right, we're going to be cooking this for about 55 minutes to an hour in a 350-degree oven. I have them equally weighed out, so they should be cooking about the same rate. I also have a convection oven, which means that they should cook a little more evenly, but we'll check those out in about 55 minutes to an hour. Well, it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't make a mistake. So you will also need a cooling rack, because these need to sit for a few minutes before I can take them out of the pan. So I have a cooling rack right here, and we will deal with that as soon as they come out of the oven. They are just about done. All right, so this is actually getting done a little sooner than I had planned. And I think we are done. That took about 45 minutes to cook, but you'll see I am going to put my cake tester in. It's coming out clean, so those are done. I will let those sit for 10 minutes and cool in their pans, and then we'll go from there and let them cool completely on the wire rack. So we are pretty much done with the zucchini bread, and it has gotten so late that I am not going to do the second batch tonight. So we'll just let those cool, and I'll show you what they look like in the end. Just beautiful. It turned out so nicely. That is zucchini bread. Friends, I wish you could smell my kitchen right now. It just smells like autumn. It is just a beautiful aroma, and the zucchini bread turned out beautifully. I couldn't be happier with it. I also felt like the zucchini, for as mature as it looked, had a lot more moisture in it, and so I'm expecting this bread to be just lovely. I am going to be putting one of these loaves into the freezer tonight, and then the other one we'll eat on, and it has gotten very late. I don't know if you can tell by the light in the room, but it has gotten very late, and so I will not be making the second batch tonight. I will do that tomorrow. But if you have suggestions on other things to do with a little more mature zucchini, please leave those in the comments. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That tells me that you like this kind of content. And I just appreciate you guys being here with me today. And I hope you're having a lovely day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.